All right, folks, we're going to be talking about Europe, 1914, at the start of World War I. But in order to understand why Europe was the way it was in 1914, we first need to understand what's going on with Germany. Okay, so we're going to zoom in right now to Germany. Okay, you can see Germany here on your screen. Now, if you look right here, you can see Germany is divided into a bunch of different territories. In about 1870, Germany was even more divided into a bunch of these little tiny city-states. Now, this is important for a number of reasons. First and foremost is ethnically they were very, very similar, if not the same. They spoke the same language, ate the same food, and had the same type of culture. However, they were not unified. As a result of that, they were very, very weak. So a man by the name of Otto von Bismarck comes along and decides that Germany, if Germany wants to be strong, Germany needs to unify. So in order for Germany to unify, you've got to have a cause for all these German people to rally around. So this cause is going to be a war. So Bismarck is going to launch a war over here into eastern France, right through here, known as the Franco-Prussian War. Now, as a result of the Franco-Prussian War, the Germans are going to end up gaining a chunk of territory right over in the corner of France on the German border, known as Alsace-Lorraine. Now, this is going to be important because, number one, the French are not happy about this, and number two, it's going to allow Germany to come together to strengthen themselves and actually form one strong, independent country. And that's what's going to happen after Bismarck starts the Franco-Prussian War to unify Germany. Now, we're going to go on a little bit further, okay? France, as we've already talked about, located right here, you can see is not happy with what Germany did. They feel threatened by Germany. Now, they need to find a way to make sure that France or Germany does not invade France once again. So what they're going to do is they're going to make an alliance with Russia, located right over in this region. Now, why do you make an alliance with Russia? You make an alliance with Russia because Russia and France can form a vice grip over on Germany and prevent Germany from trying to expand. If you would attack the French, therefore the Russians are considering that an attack on them, and Germany will be stuck in a two-front war. If you attack the Russians, the French consider that an attack on them, and Germany is stuck in a two-front war. Now, what do I mean by a two-front war? It means Germany is fighting wars on both of their borders. Okay, they're going to be fighting a war on the eastern border, and they're going to be fighting a war on the western border. Now, this is problematic for a number of reasons. The Russians, if they're going to be fighting a war versus the Germans, they're only going to be fighting on their western border compared to the Germans having to be fighting a war on their eastern and western borders, meaning the entire Russian army can be facing roughly half the German army because it's going to have to be split. And that's going to be the whole purpose behind the Russian and French alliance. Now, we got to talk about Austria-Hungary, okay, located right here. Austria-Hungary is very, very similar to the Germans in a number of ways, speaking similar languages, culturally very similar, so they're going to align with one another. Now, Germany is going to have a strong military. The Austro-Hungarian military really isn't very strong. There's going to be a number of instances throughout World War I where the only reason the Austro-Hungarians did not lose is because the Germans came up and supported them. But Austria-Hungary is an incredibly large and incredibly diverse different country. Okay, it's going to be made up of ethnic Germans, Slavs, Croatians, Hungarians, pretty much you name it, it's going to be located within the Austro-Hungarian borders, particularly with Serbia. And this is going to be important, okay, because the Serbs do not want to be ruled by Austria-Hungary. A lot of these different groups don't want to be ruled by Austria-Hungary. But especially the Serbs. And they're going to rise up in this group called the Black Hand. You know, this is a militant organization that is going to go out and it's going to launch a covert, so to speak, assassination plot on Archduke Franz Ferdinand. Now, Archduke Franz Ferdinand is this person who is going to become the next leader of the Austro-Hungarian Empire after his father passes away. So what's going to happen is the Black Hands are going to be based in Sarajevo, which is current-day capital of Bosnia-Herzegovina, located in the southern portion of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. There's a lot of tension going on in this region, so Franz Ferdinand decides that he's going to go down here personally and try to calm the situation down. He's going to go down here, and there's going to be an assassination attempt that morning. They're going to take a grenade, they're going to try to throw it under his car and blow him up. That grenade misses, goes to the car behind him, explodes, killing that driver, and Franz Ferdinand is going to make it out unscathed. scathed. Later on in that day, though, he is going to be driving back. His driver will take a wrong turn, and there's going to be a man by the name of Gavrilo Princip, a young 19-year-old member of the Black Hand movement who was a part of this assassination plot in the morning, sitting in a cafe. He sees Franz Ferdinand come by. He pulls out his pistol, runs up, stands on the floorboard of his car, shoots twice, one into his wife Sophie, who is pregnant, killing her, and the second one into Franz Ferdinand, killing him. And that is going to be the spark that's going to really ignite this whole conflict of World War I. So we're going to have the Serbians, okay, you can see them right down here, are most likely, looking at the historical evidence today, knew about this plot and did not stop anything. This is the equivalent of a country taking out the leader of another country and allowing this to happen. You can understand why a country would be upset. Now, Serbia is going to be very aligned with the Russians. They're very, very similar culturally. They're both Slavic individuals. Their language is similar. They're going to use the same alphabet. So they're going to be aligned right through here. Austria-Hungary is going to be declaring war on Serbia, which has an alliance with Russia. So now you've declared war on Russia. So if you declare war on Russia, the French are going to get involved as well. Now, if you have this going on, you're also going to get the Germans are going to be involved because they have an alliance right down here with Austria-Hungary. The Germans, when they attack France, they're going to go in through Belgium, which is going to be neutral. So this is going to be invaded, which is what draws the line for the British who occupy Ireland at this time period and bringing them into the fray. So that's really how everything is going to set up. Italy is going to come into the situation later because the French are going to, or the British are going to promise them a large chunk of land on the other side of the Adriatic Sea, right down here, if they fight alongside the British, the French, and the Russians. Italy, wanting this chunk of land, like to expand, is going to abandon their Triple Alliance partners of Germany and Austria-Hungary and fight alongside the Entente. So this is going to be World War I, how it sets up, how it goes. Questions, comments, put it below. Otherwise, good luck.